everybody, this is Natalia PH. I'm the creator and founder of Mindset Academy. At Mindset Academy, we teach you a step-by-step formula how to focus and convince your mind to follow the heart to health, wealth, and happiness. We use what we call the algorithm of creation, thoughts, feelings, actions, results, to create the life you desire. You are watching the second video in our free training video series. I want to thank you for a fantastic feedback on the first video. I'm so grateful for you posting comments, questions, and sharing it with others. I'm thrilled to share this knowledge with you, and I believe we can really make a difference in people's lives, showing them how to create healthier, happier, and wealthier life. So thank you once again for taking part in this process, and let's make an impact and do something worthy. In the first video, I explained what we do, how we serve you, and the science behind the power of belief and the algorithm of creation. If you missed it, go ahead and view it by clicking on video 1 on the top of this page. Now, before I go to the training part of this video, let me ask you a question. What drives you? In the first video, I explained the two driving emotions, our sources of power that push us ahead. The ancients taught us that at the core there are two basic emotions, love or fear. And from these two, a whole array of feelings is being created. Once you combine the emotion with a particular thought, you get a feeling. When it comes to feelings, they are either life-affirming or life-denying. They either stop us from getting what we want or motivate us to achieve our desires. Feelings are being created in our heart, the strongest, most highly vibrating organ in our body. The organ with electric field 100 times stronger than the brains, and magnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brains. The heart is the sun of our internal solar system, to use the beautiful metaphor, where the brain is the earth that revolves around our center, our beacon, our light. Our heartfelt feelings, our intuition, our inner voice are the guiding forces of our life, and there lies our power. The common myth has been for centuries now that it's the brain which is the organ in charge of the entire system. Now, science shows us that as important and crucial our brain is, it's the heart who talks to the brain and sends signals, feels the feelings that are our driving forces. Here is where the entire belief system is being created, and from there on, the signals are being transmitted. Through our heartfelt feelings, beliefs, we communicate with the electromagnetic field of our universe, which science calls the matrix. If I were to describe the field spiritually, I would quote David Hawkins, who calls it mind of God. It's the field of consciousness that is all around us, within us, and envelops everything there is. When we know how to communicate with the field in its language, we can communicate with what we call higher power, consciousness, the matrix, and using religious terms, God. I do not want to push any buttons here. I'm myself born and raised Catholic, and I have always known that there is a power that governs our entire universe. And I have always known, ever since I was a child, that this force is within us, and we could communicate with it through the language of our hearts. I have experienced it in my childhood when my beloved grandfather died, and I got the evidence of the existence of the power bigger than our physical body. I felt this energy when he passed on. I have never experienced anything like that. Such pure, loving energy that appeared around and within me. That experience was priceless. This event, along with many others in my life, pushed me to research it further and find out what is that force that sleeps within us. That source of our power. I wanted to find out, how do some people create their dream lives while others consider themselves victims of life? I have always believed that we all have something special, that God, if you will, loves us all equally. I did have a suspicion and a strong belief, though, that it's the humans who don't love themselves enough, and that it is the human mind that sabotages us from harnessing that power within us. In the first video, I explained a little bit of the theory for the mind to grasp the mechanics and understand the algorithm of creation. How our thoughts plus feelings put us in certain states from which we make decisions, act, and we get what we get, and how all these components are undeniably connected with each other. I would like to ask you again, if you missed the first video, please go there by clicking video 1 on the top of this page. In this video, I would like to make you realize that if in any moment of your life you doubted that there is a power within you, that you can achieve anything, that you can be happy, that you can do, be, have, whatever you desire, if you ever doubted that, it was and it will always be nothing but a myth, a story that you created and programmed yourself to believe. You might have absorbed it, adopted it from others, but it has nothing to do with your true nature. Here is the truth. And why do I claim it to be the truth? Well, believe me, if I could have conquered my mind and taken a close look at the chatter, self-talk that was going on in my mind over and over again, and I looked past it and seen my true nature, that of power and potential, so can you. We are all special, we are all unique, and we are all geniuses. Most of us are still dormant and live in the state of self-doubt. But if you allow this info to penetrate your mind and get to your heart, you know that this is the truth. You are the powerful being, and that frankly can be a little scary. I know. I chickened out myself on several occasions. But once you realize that you do have the power, that you can take responsibility for everything that happens to you, that you can handle anything that happens in your life, that you can embrace the emotion of fear and use it as your ally, not your opponent, well, once that happens, there are no limits. Let me read you an amazing poem by Marianne Williamson. If the word God is not in your vocabulary, you can change it to higher power, consciousness, whatever you believe is the force that governs all there is. But focus your mind, please, on the message and let your heart feel the upliftment and the truth of it. Here I go. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Wow. I absolutely feel chills in my heart every time I read it. My heart wants to sing, and there's no room for doubt. There's no room for fear. There's just a sense of knowing that this is the truth of our being, and that we are here to wake up to our purpose, and that, as you might have heard before, is the expansion of happiness on this planet, in this life that we live. Love, not fear, is the emotion that should be our main driving force, and all the thoughts empowered by that emotion should explode from our hearts, creating life that we were meant to live. Life filled with happiness, health, and wealth. Let's debunk another myth, once and for all, that happiness, health and wealth are the privilege of just a few. That you need to have some special talents, special abilities to make it happen. I speak to you as an absolutely ordinary person who had a dream and decided not to give up on it. I have nothing more, nothing less than every single one of you has. It is not the misery, it is not the poverty, it is not the disease or war what this life is all about. No, I have come to realize that we are all powerful beings, and that the only enemy that we have, and I don't even want to use that word, let's say the only opponent that we have, is our beautiful mind. So once we know that, and we identify the source of the problem, we can work with that, don't you think? I did it. Many people I know from all over the world did it. They came from different backgrounds, having all sorts of extreme circumstances, from being sick, from being broke, from being simply miserable, and there's one common denominator, one common conclusion. Ego, the mind, was playing against our heart and sabotaged us all along the way. You see, there are no secrets in the universe. There's only one conclusion, and that is to quote Tony Robbins, all that you need is within you now. All that you need is within you now. Oh yes, it is. But you might be temporarily at the mercy of your ego. Well, clearly I was. And you might have temporarily become enslaved by your mind. So shall we change the rules of engagement? Shall we turn the direction of your life? Shall we create happier, healthier, and wealthier life? You don't have to ask me twice. But it requires 4 C's. Grab a piece of paper and write it down. 1. Commitment to yourself. You just make a decision that you want to do this and commit. 2. Control. You pledge to start to control your own thought processes and pay attention to how you activate the algorithm of creation. 3. Confidence. Absolute confidence in your ability that you can do it. And 4. Courage. Yes, to step up, to take a leap of faith, stop procrastinating and start living. It requires some cojones to do that. You are not a victim, you are not a coward. Say it and mean it. And we seal it with the B, belief, heartfelt belief that from your lion heart. I mean, really. Belief is that feeling that radiates from your heart and gets in tune with your thoughts, the visions, the dreams in your mind, and you just know that you are on the way, nothing can stop you. And you believe that you can do, be, have anything you want, and you keep on adding fuel to that belief over and over again. And you do it by commitment, control, confidence, courage. Over and over again, looking in the mirror and seeing your lion heart. Let me tell you a story that is believed to be told by Native Americans, and there are different versions of it, but I will tell you the one that is called Grandfather's Tale. Grandfather once said to his young grandson, who came to him being completely angry with a friend who hurt him. The grandfather wanted to soothe the boy and told him a story. He said, I too at times have felt a great hate towards those who have taken so much from me. I was resentful of them. I couldn't forgive them for what they had done to me. But hate, my son, wears you down. It is not your enemy who suffers. You do. It is like taking poison and wishing your enemy would die. I have struggled with those feelings many times. It is as if there are 2 wolves inside me. One is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony with all around him and is at peace. He will only fight when it is right to do so and in the right way. But the other wolf, he is so full of anger, the tiniest thing will anger him and trigger his temper. He fights everyone, all the time, for no reason. He cannot think clearly because of his anger and hate. It is helpless anger, for his anger changes nothing. Sometimes it is hard to live with these 2 wolves inside me, for both of them try to dominate the spirit. The boy looked at the grandfather and asked, Which one wins, grandfather? The grandfather smiled and quietly said, The one I feed most. You know where I'm getting with this, don't you? Your mind and your heart are like these 2 wolves. Sometimes ego wins, sometimes you let your heart take over, and you are at peace. Here at Mindset Academy, we are doing all we can to help your mind focus and follow your heart. But of course, you are in charge and you are the one who always has a choice and defines the outcomes. You already know that your heart has an extremely powerful electromagnetic charge and that your heartfelt desires can change your reality, but you need your mind to play ball and cohere. Get in sync with your heart, and here is the work. Here is the diet you need to put yourself on. You need to literally starve the negativity out of your system. Quiet that constant chatter in your mind telling you you can't. By now you know it is simple. It is simply a false, fearful, scared, life-denying voice that tells you stories that pretend to be you. It is not you. It is an old, outdated, unnecessary, sabotaging little old pattern of thoughts, nothing more, nothing less. And with just a little bit of work, commitment, confidence, control, courage and belief, you can release it, one after another. Let it go and create a new, empowering story.